The Shield Weaver, the best armor in Horizon Zero Dawn, got nerfed in patch 1.20. The patch is live right now, so let's take a look at this nerf and see if it's really that bad. Share your opinion in the comments down below and don't forget to hit that like button. I already told you about the Shield Weaver nerf in videos before the patch went live, also giving you some details about what the nerf would mean. So one important thing to note is that the power of the armor is only reduced on the hard and very hard difficulty. If you play on hard, the armor has a 40% health reduction, meaning that it can now absorb 300 health instead of 500 before having to recharge. On the very hard difficulty, the armor is reduced by 66.6%, making it able to absorb 167 health before having to recharge. One important thing to note is that even with 1 HP, with 1 health of the Shield Weaver, it will still be able to absorb all the incoming damage of the incoming attack. It doesn't matter how much it is. Still though, the nerf is really significant. For example, when I was fighting the Shadow Karja on the very hard difficulty in patch 1.13, my Shield Weaver needed a recharge after 3 hits, and now after 1 arrow the red lights appear. On the very hard difficulty, all the damage you take is increased by 150% as well. So I was wondering, what attacks could I absorb more than once? So what does less than 176 health? You will be surprised by the answer. On the very hard difficulty, you should be fine against 3 machines. And with should be fine, I mean that you can get hit 2 times by these machines by all their attacks before the Shield Weaver has to recharge. Those are the Strider, the Scrapper and the Watcher, as you see right here. None of the attacks will reach above the 176 on the very hard difficulty. So he has only 3 machines. I tried to absorb more than 1 attack from the Broadhead, but even when 1 attack should do 150 damage, the spin kick, it still directly went through my armor, causing it to recharge. So that is interesting. So even the Charger, and after that the Long Lack and the Trampler, all have 1 hit that will cause you to recharge on the very hard difficulty. You can still get hit once by a Shock Volley of the Shell Walker or a Freeze Burst from the Snap Maw, as you see right here, but the Glint Hawks do that as well, but any physical damage is enough to see the red lights and hear the beeping sound. So before that, you could get hit by 3 Long Lack attacks before having to recharge, so that's a pretty huge difference. So on the hard difficulty, it's of course less crazy. I mean, the enemies hit 120% more damage instead of 150, and of course the Shield Weaver is way less reduced with 40% instead of 66.6%. On the very hard difficulty, 1 Sawtooth hit is enough for a recharge, while on hard it's 2 hit before you have to recharge, apart from the special Berserker Fury that will deal more than 300 damage. All the other machines I mentioned, so from the Watcher till the Long Neck, will require more than 1 hit. The Trampler can only break your armor immediately when you get a hit by the Mineral Explosion ability, the one you see right here. And Glinthawks and Stalkers are fine as well, they also require 2 attacks for you to recharge. Even the Rock Breaker will not destroy your armor with 1 hit, depending on the attack that he does, so that's pretty nice. Thunderjaw and Stormbird are 1 hit though, Behemoth 2 depending on the skill again, but most of them are like 1 hit, while normally on the hard difficulty it was 2. So the conclusion, the game got harder on harder difficulties. Not a real surprise, right? And something that, I mean, I made a video about this, something that really should have happened. I already said, okay, the Shield Weaver armor is too overpowered. They finally fixed it, they balanced their game. They did not take anything away from you, because you can still play the game on normal, feel like a god, because nothing changed there. I don't feel like a pussy anymore for wearing the Shield Weaver on the very hard difficulty right now, because you still have to pay a lot of attention, way more than before. It's interesting to see that on the very hard difficulty, almost all the attacks are a 1-hit recharge. I mean, you will not be fighting Scrappers with a Shield Weaver anyway, but hard is still manageable against a lot of machines. On the other hand though, the difference between hard and very hard doesn't really matter when you get hit by a physical attack from the bigger machines like a Thunderjaw and a Stormbird, because then it's both a 1-hit recharge. So a quick summary of this like Shield Weaver nerf overall when compared to how it was before. When fighting bigger machines is that you can now absorb only 1 attack before you have to recharge, and before patch 1.20 it was 2. It's just way more significant if you compare it to attacks from mid-tier machines, because they also can just hit you once and they have to recharge, while before this was maybe 3 times. So yeah, I can totally see where you're coming from if you don't like this. The nerf is pretty significant, but my take is that, okay, I need to get used to this, but in the end it's for the best. The harder and very hard difficulty are just way more manageable right now. They are what you come to expect. They're not a joke. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe for everything Horizon Zero Dawn. Like the video if you did, and I will speak to you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.